Hello and welcome to another episode of Historically Speaking. Today we're going to talk about the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, an organization which was founded in 1925 and it is commonly known as the RSS. It was founded by Keshav Baliram Hedgewar, who was, as his biographers would, concerned, conservative doctor who was concerned about the question of Hindu unity in the 1920s, and he decided that there was Hindus as a community were really divided and that the Britishers were taking advantage of it, and the reason why the community could not move forward because it was internally divided, and that is why there was one organization that was needed which was bring everyone together, and that is why the RSS was founded in Nagpur in 1925. Now, whenever you say RSS, the first question comes is, it goes across in people's mind is, it is a militant Hindu organization, it's highly conservative, it's very traditional, secretive is one of the often accusation which is repeated against the RSS, that it's a very secretive organization. And as a historian who's been researching extensively on the RSS, I did that during my PhD thesis, and now I'm working on a book on the RSS. I've realized there is nothing as such secretive about the organization. That was a tag that the Britishers attached to the RSS to kind of put the organization within a framework, that if they had to define this organization, they would define it as a secret militant organization, because one of the ethos of the RSS was self-defense and protection of the community, training the community to prepare for any kind of conflict or any kind of an attack. So this was one of the basic tenets of the RSS, which it imbibed and which continues to this day, which is in the form of the shakhas, where they have early morning the pracharaks and get up at around 4:35 in the morning and do military drills, training, physical activity, sports, civil defense. So these were the basic things that that the RSS was founded on, and it is a principle that it remains to this day. But my concern here is with respect to the misconceptions regarding the RSS. The misconceptions have to do with the fact that the RSS is a very tight-knit, dominant, autocratic, authoritarian organization, which according to my research does not prove the case, because as they are commonly and famously known as the Sangh Parivar, it is an affiliate of organizations. It has the ABVP, it has the Bharat Mazdoor Sangh, it has the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, it has the Bharatiya Janata Party is also one of its affiliates. So it has the Kisan Union, it has the Labour Union. So these are different affiliate organizations of the RSS which come together to form the Sangh Parivar. So that is one conception about the RSS that has remained, that it is very, very centralized. Because these affiliates are different kinds, they work very, very differently in different, under different heads. And often the dialogue within the organization is quite robust and dynamic. So as opposed to what people think, that if the Sarsang Chalak has said one thing, then that rule shall apply to everyone. That is not the case. The Sangh has a lot of debate and discussion that goes on within the organization, and that is when they come to a conclusion. It is this level of debate, discussion, disagreement which has allowed the organization to grow exceptionally, especially after the 1990s. It has grown extensively into millions of followers. It has a lot of following abroad among the Indian diaspora, and it has of course a massive following within India. One of the controversies that has to do with the RSS are the two bans on the RSS. One was following the death of Mahatma Gandhi on 30th January 1948, and one is during the ban which the government imposed on the RSS during the emergency. The fact that these bans were very brutal to the organization, and the fact that the organization came out of those bans and has survived to 100 years and quite robust and goes strong, tells you a great deal about the organization and in its strengths and weaknesses. While its declared objectives are that we want to establish Bharat as a civilizational state, Mohan Vaidya, who was one of the major figureheads of the organization, has said in an interview to Walter Anderson that India is a civilizational state. We see it as a civilizational entity, which many people have misconstrued and said that this is RSS attempt to hijack the character of the nation state, but no one has attempted to understand what the RSS is. And one of the reasons why I feel no one has attempted to understand what the RSS is because very few people study the organization, and there are very few books which are written on the organization. Ever since the Bharatiya Janata Party has come to power since 2014, has the interest in this organization because the Sangh Parivar works in conjunction with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and because it's also the ideological mothership of the Bharatiya Janata Party, has interest grown in the organization. But I would say still the studies on the organization are very limited. Much of what is said about the organization has very little to do with the organization. There is no attempt to understand its basic character or its programs that it runs. Why does it have shakhas, which obviously encourage a certain kind of discipline? Why does it have movements such as cow protection? Why is it talking about wokeism, drug abuse and all that? So that has been the character of the organization because it has always spoken about issues that have been at the core of Indian society. The other aspect about the RSS is also that RSS has been in a bunch of controversies. After Gandhi's death, one of the major accusations was that one of the person who happened to kill Mahatma Gandhi, who assassinated Gandhi, had to do with the RSS, though there has not been a very direct line of evidence to support that fact. But these are attempts to malign the organization because very little is understood. A lot of it is based on rumor and hearsay. A lot of people who write and comment on the organization have very little understanding of the organization, probably have not even attended a shakha or a meeting of the organization to even understand what goes on in between that. I have been privy to a number of shakhas which I have personally attended as a part of my research, and also I have been a part of a lot of meetings to try to understand the nature and the core of the organization. RSS members had a huge role to play during the emergency, which they also called the second freedom struggle because they were fighting against the authoritarian tendencies of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. A lot of people would also say, well, the RSS and the Congress have always been at loggerheads, and RSS have always been opposed to Mrs. Indira Gandhi, but it is actually far from the truth. RSS supported Indira Gandhi when she won the 1971 Bangladesh war for India. So a lot of credit and a lot of statements of the then Sar Sangchalak showed the fact that she had worked very strongly and she had shown her leadership skills, and the RSS welcomed her efforts in that direction, especially the killings of Hindus that was happening in Bangladesh, which is one of the core issues which the RSS has spoken about, Hindu refugees in East Bengal and Hindu refugees in Punjab, which nobody has really spoken of. So RSS has picked up issues which have been at the core of Hindu society. It was majority of the accusation against the then Congress government was that it was largely discussing issues about Muslim refugees which were migrating from India to Pakistan, who were coming from Pakistan to India, but no one spoke about the plight, murder, rape of Hindu refugees, whether in East Pakistan or in Punjab. So the concern of Hindu refugees was never highlighted, and the RSS worked at the ground level to rehabilitate, compensate and rebuild the lives of the Hindu refugees. And that is often misunderstood as being pro-Hindu. It was about their concern for a community which was not spoken of, which was abused and violently. We all know about the number of rapes of Hindu women that have happened in East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, during the period of the Bangladesh war. The amount of cruelties on children were sodomized during that time period, and there was no accountability to it. Women were raped left, right and center because of the fact that they were to belong to another community. This happened during partition also in 47, 48, when whether it was Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, women were all raped, and women's bodies became platforms for nations to decide who was right and who was wrong. So RSS has picked up issues which are at core of the society, and that leads to a lot of misconception about the RSS and its functions. So contrary to the popular perception, RSS did not oppose Indira Gandhi right from the very beginning. It opposed her when she declared emergency, when she refused to step down, when her election had been declared null and void, and when she declared emergency, she put up a lot of opposition leaders, including senior RSS leaders, the Sarsang Chalaks behind bars. That is when the RSS waged an underground struggle, and there is no downplaying. A lot of people have documented it. The fact that the RSS had a crucial role to play during the emergency in offering stiff resistance to the emergency during that time period. So these are facts that one should know, especially when it's 100 years of the RSS, which are little unknown facts about issues. A lot of issues that you hear about are the contemporary issues, but the plight of Hindu refugees, the plight of women in different areas, the plight of laborers, mazdoors, the life of tribals, these are issues which have not been discussed, and that is where the RSS works at the ground root. So I think before anyone tries to comment on the RSS, I think it would not hurt to attend a shakha or two to understand the core of the RSS. Thank you.